Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. I am doing a mix of emotions. I can't even describe to you how I feel, to be honest with you. But as you can tell by the title, I quit my 9 to 5 to go full-time into content creation, which is something that I've always wanted to do. I quit my job about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and this week on Thursday is my last day. So I thought it was fitting to do a video on how I quit my job. And I think there's so many people out there who are similar to me, who want to feel more fulfilled, who don't resonate with a 9 to 5 and want to do something else, but it's really hard to know how to do it, how to approach it, what to do, and all the rest of it. So I put a question box on Instagram just asking you guys to let me know anything you want to know about how to quit 9 to 5 and just my journey and anything. So these questions actually really helped me to sort of figure out a structure. We're going to be talking about everything from how I quit, like the finance side of things, how I saved up the money, how much I needed to save up, to also like how I simply found the courage to do it, like the support systems around me, like everything, and the conversations I had to have with certain people. Like, we'll get into it. First of all, let's go back to sort of the context behind all of this. So the question I got around this was, have you always wanted to do this, or was this like a snap decision? In short, yes, I have always wanted to be a content creator. I've always wanted to be, whatever you call it, content creator, influencer, whatever. But for me, creating content is the thing I'm most passionate about. Like, all my friends would be posting on Instagram like their friends or like a party or like whatever it was. I'd be posting like curated feeds and aesthetics and like serious stuff. And then when I was about 16, 17, I created a YouTube channel and I started posting makeup tutorials. Don't bother scrolling down because they are gone. And I loved it. I loved doing it even though like 2 people watched them. And then I loved vlogging, and I did some like travel vlogs and things when I went on holiday, and I just loved it. But then obviously society tells you, and family and people tell you, go to uni and get a degree and figure out what you want to do and get a job. So I went to uni and did media production, which was great. I actually only ended up doing 2 years, graduated with a higher educational diploma, because in between my 2nd and 3rd year, I ended up getting a job at one of the biggest news publishers in the world, called News UK, who own The Times, The Sunday Times, The Sun, TalkSport, HarperCollins, and Talk TV, which isn't so much around anymore. But I joined Talk TV and I worked my way up there, and I got like a massive amount of progression really, really quickly because I worked so hard. And then I ended up going from Talk TV to the Sunday Times and the Times in the commercial side of things, which is where I am now, which is where I'm leaving. And I had an amazing job. It was it's called Creative Lead, and I was like coming up with all these ideas and creatively directing campaigns and pitching to brands and writing scripts of videos and all this stuff. It was incredible. But my content creation was always in the back of my mind. So even throughout my career doing this for the past 4 years, and at uni and before that school, like, content was always something that I was itching to do. I mean, the amount of text messages, I'll insert them here, that I sent to my boyfriend and my sister, my best friend, about like wanting to quit and do my content, and oh, my content's been slacking and this, that and the other. It's always been there. So that leads me to my next question. What actually pushed you to take the final leap? The biggest thing that really I found hard, and that struck me to just go enough's enough, is I was trying to balance doing my content alongside my 9 to 5. I would literally be editing on the train. I'd be filming on my lunch break when I'm working from home, and after work when I get home. But every month I'd end up falling into the same position, and it was that I'd be burnt out. A lot of people can do that, but I have another whole range of things to deal with in my personal life. I lost my dad to suicide in 2022. I therefore have crap that I've got to deal with because of that, and so many other things. And then, yeah, enough was enough. I had to do something about it, so I did. And that wasn't me quitting. I didn't just then go, oh, enough's enough, I'm just gonna quit. And that's where I do just want to add a bit about privilege into this, because it's hard, right? When you don't have, for me in my circumstance, I don't have parents to fall back on. I don't have a family home to go to on a Sunday for a roast. I don't have the option of taking 6 months out and just living at home for a bit that so many people do have. And that was taken away from me when my dad passed in 2022. I had to work, I had to do these 4 years. And that's obviously very normal. Like, a lot of people don't have the privilege to just quit their job and go home or whatever. I had to do something. I'm with Starling Bank, and one of the amazing things about Starling, and likewise Monzo and some of the other banks are following suit now, is they've got pots. And I just love saving pots because it makes it really clear in my head. Like, I'm very visual, I don't like numbers, so I loved that feature. And what I did is I set up a money pot, a saving pot called, and you can call it whatever you want, but I called it Freedom. So I called it Freedom, like a freedom pot. And that was the pot that was going to set me so dramatic now saying it, but like set me free from my 9 to 5 so I could do what I want to do, kind of thing. And this is the hard part, right? I say this, but like, it's not that I ever hated my job. Like, that's the hard part as well, which I'll go on to later. Like, the biggest thing that stops you is the comfort of the people you work with, the salary, the job being good. Like, it's hard. So I set up the Freedom Pot, and I then needed to work out, right, how much money do I need to live so that I can get by whilst I'm trying to be a content creator, basically. To be completely transparent, that worked out at £1,500 a month. So that's like my baseline every month, and that includes bills, rent, car, food shop, everything, like, covered. I then had to decide, how long do I want to give myself? So I decided I really want to give myself like a year. Then I needed to work out, right, 1,500 times 12 is £18,000, which is insane. So 4 years ago, we're talking, I then started putting away £400 a month, and I did that for 4 years, and here I am now, and I finally have the money to do it. However, just on the saving part, if you are thinking about quitting your job, you want to be able to give whatever your passion is your full attention. And if you're stressing and worrying about money and trying to bring in income or getting a part-time job or whatever it is, like, you need to give it your all. And that's what I sort of told myself. So that's why I saved up this money. But obviously, saving up that much money across 4 years and £400 a month savings, it is a hefty task. It's on top of other savings and other things you want to do. And it fluctuates. Like, 1 month I'd put in £1,000 because I had a bonus, and then the next month I put in £100 because I had to change my tyres on my car. It changes and it fluctuates, and that's the thing about saving. Like, you do have to go with the flow a little bit, and life isn't consistent, things happen. So yeah. And I think what also really helped me is, for so long I kept also focusing on the mountain in front of me, like that classic saying of like, don't focus on the whole staircase, just focus on the step in front of you, really helped me, because I was stressing. I was like, oh my god, 4 years, I've got to wait 4 years before I can quit my job and do this. Oh yeah, are you joking? Like, no. But actually, every time I put money in, I was achieving my dream, if that makes sense. Like, I am achieving my dream because I am putting it into action. I am doing something towards it. So, and also you've got to remind yourself, like, you know, you have time. So that all helped me a lot, and I hope that helps you too. This leads me on to my next question, which is a very important part of all of this. So my sister actually asked me this question, and it's, has having support from your loved ones made a big difference in your decision? I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm answering this truthfully, yes and no. Yes, because obviously having support from your loved ones and your friends and family really pushes you to do it even more, and it's so amazing to have that support. But the drive to do it and the decision to do it really did come from me. It's very easy to be like, it's my life, I want to do this, you only live once, I'm gonna do it. For sure, keep that in there, but also talk to people around you, do your research, soundboard people, people who also might not be close to you but might know the industry that you want to go in. Say you know an artist and you want to be an artist. I was very much like, I've got the money, I'm going to do it now. But actually, when I sat my boyfriend down and was like, right, I've got the money now, I want to start talking about this, I want to do it, he asked me questions I didn't even think about. Like, for example, he said, you've spent 4 years in the office 3 days a week, around people all the time, meetings when you're at home, in the office. How are you going to deal with that adjustment of being on your own a lot of the day on your own? And I was just like, oh yeah, crap, I didn't even think about that. So I think that was one of the biggest impacts and differences that having support around you and people to talk to about it made on me, because I thought about things that I didn't think I needed to think about, and I'm so grateful for that. And also, the support system is so important for when you are feeling doubtful. Like, I had it last week where I said to Jack, what if this doesn't work out? What if I'm making a mistake? Of course you're gonna have those moments. Even if you are so delusionally committed to doing this, you are going to still have doubts, and you know, you're going to have fears, and that's so important to have a support system around you in order to encourage you and support you and be there for you and stuff. But ultimately, it is so hard to know how to go about quitting your job. It's so scary, and it can feel very, very lonely. You can spend so long waiting for the right time to do it. Life is short, and you have to live it to the fullest. I'm literally staring at a painting that says life is short, live every day to the fullest, because you have to. And if your job is costing you, you know, growth and fulfillment, and, you know, preventing you from doing what you actually want to be doing with your life, build the bridge, set up the freedom pot, prepare, speak to people, research, plan. But yeah, I'd love for you to join me on this crazy journey I'm about to go on. Hopefully I'm going to make this dream a reality and something that I can continue to do past the 12 months. I've got so much planned, obviously, because I've been waiting 4 years to do this. I'm going to be vlogging my whole week this week, which is my last week ever at my job. So it's going to be a very big week, and there's lots happening. So I thought I'd bring you guys along with me now that we are on this journey together. And then on Friday, I'm off to Paris, which will be video after that. So please subscribe and click the notification button so that you know when I post a video. But every Sunday, I'll have a new video out for you guys, and I'm so grateful for the people around me, my friends, my family, my boyfriend, my sister. Like, I literally could not have done this without you. But yeah, I will see you next week. Love you. Bye.